Good morning, guys. Good morning. Woo! Good morning. It is Friday here in the heart of the Arkansas Delta, and we've got a humdinger of a day going out there right now. It is already 74 degrees. The sun is out. The clouds have took a vacation day, and the wind is slightly blowing. Man, you could not have scripted this thing any better. What a great day that we have here to celebrate and to tell somebody about Jesus. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Coffee Chat. We're glad that you're here. We have made it to another Friday. It just seems like yesterday was Friday again. And so here we are, shabam. We are right back at another one. Guys, good morning. Good morning. Glad you were here. When you get in, make sure you've got your coffee. Make sure that you've got your Bibles and your journals. And come on in. Let's just kind of kick back and kickstart the day, all right? And, when we get to Fridays on the chat, we're kickstarting the weekend too, right? I mean, because, hey, it is the weekend. We have made it. We have made it. So praise the Lord for that. But, no kidding. It just seems like the weeks just fly by. It's that saying, my daughter said this not so long ago, the days are slow, but the years are fast. Days are slow, but the years are fast. It's so true, so true. Hey, good morning, Judy. There's Judy Davis in the house this morning. Good morning, good morning. I think I see Sandy sneaking in. Good morning, Miss Sandy. I hope all is well with everybody. I am trying to get in and get over there. I want you to say hello when you get on and go ahead and hey, you know the deal. And that is to hit that share button. Hit that share button. That's what we need to do. Get her out there. And let's get all of our friends in our hood rocking and rolling. Come on, Brian Ponder. What you doing, Brian? How you doing today, buddy? Come on in, guys. Everybody come on in. Say howdy at the preacher. Let me know what you got going on this morning. There's Margie Jordan. Good morning, lady. How's things out on the lake this morning? You guys doing good? Man, we got this is a gorgeous day to sit out on y'all's back patio and drink coffee and look out over the lake. I mean, just good golly, what a great day. It is gorgeous out there. We're going to put some of that Georgia slang on. It is gorgeous out there today. So you have got to make sure that you are out there. You enjoy everything that God has laid out before us on this one. Woo, it's good. I mean, the squirrels are crazy out here in my yard. Y'all would not believe it. I'm telling you, my squirrels, I think, have lost their mind. They are out here going crazy. But I've got something new in my yard, and I noticed this yesterday. I told Denise, and I've never seen it before. And that's we have this gigantic woodpecker that's out in our yard. I mean, this dude is a beast. He's a monster, and he sounds like just like a drill. When he's working on these trees. But we now have baby woodpeckers that's out here. And I've never seen little guys. And so this is kind of exciting to see the little ones. And they're following dad around, or I guess it's dad. And they're following down, and they hop up and down the tree just like dad does. And you'll see them begin to peck a little bit, just like dad does. It's just as precious as it can be. And I love watching those little guys. But I told Denise yesterday, I said, it's only going to take just a few more weeks till these little dudes get bigger, and it's going to sound like a construction zone out here with these guys out here just popping and locking on these trees. Arlene is here. Let's see. Tommy's gone to Memphis to take a friend to the airport. Oh, I sure hope he left early in time. You got to give yourself all kinds of time to cross that river. Goodness, goodness. And thank you for Tommy for taking care of that. And for being over there. We want him to be safe and to get him back home safely. And he can always catch the chat later on the rewind. He can definitely do that. Hey, everybody got this thing shared yet? Have you hit the share button? We want you to do that. This is the day you hit that share button, Hey, guys, hope y'all had a good Thursday. I spent the bulk of the day visiting with pastors and working on music. That was my That was my day yesterday. I did get some studying done late last night, but man, I worked on music and rehearsed music and all that good stuff. We are going to have a acoustic set this coming Sunday. I will be switching from piano to guitar on Sunday morning, so I'm very excited about that. Going to have a great list of worship songs that we're going to sing, and so I'm very excited to lead this coming Sunday. We're going right back into 1 Peter, and definitely looking forward to continuing our series on a Sojourner's Guide. Let's see here: squirrels, rabbits, birds. We're all out to get. Yes, yeah. This is like, we call it Wild Kingdom out here in our place. Just this crazy stuff. So, good stuff, rocking and rolling, here headed into Sunday. Does anybody have any exciting plans for the weekend? What are your weekend, guys? What y'all gonna be doing? I know we've got a couple of folks from our church have already got plans and reservations out there headed camping. They are, I forgot the name of the campground, but it's going to be over in western Arkansas. So we will miss them. But, everybody's got to get out every now and then, just take some time off. And so I'm excited that they are going to get that opportunity to get out and to go do that. Let's see here. What else is going on? Man, we've got some great Sunday school lined up. The guys are ready to go. We're 2 weeks out from Miss Pat and Brother Norval from kicking their Sunday schools back off. So, all that's good stuff. Hi, Ruth Hastings. Good morning. So all of that is going on. The coffee bar opens at 8:30. And speaking of the coffee bar, I had one of my pastor buddies met me at the church campus yesterday morning. Just wanted to visit for a little bit, but he had not seen the damage that was done by the flood back in February, and just kind of gave him the tour, and he was just kind of, just flabbergasted, to be honest with you, because it is, if you've not seen the destruction at our church, it's just, it's kind of tough. But, we had coffee while we were there and we were visiting, and he was just blown away by our coffee bar setup and how we do that and how we serve and how Miss Mary takes care of all that. And so, before he left, he wanted to make sure that he took pictures as to how it was all set up, because he wants to take that back and to do something like that at his church. He just loved it. And then I had a pastor 2 weeks ago do the exact same thing. So we have kind of set the trend for something going on in our association. It's kind of exciting when you think about it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that take part of that. And just kind of get in. It is a unique part of our service and our ministry. Really, it is, because it's a hospitality ministry, and I'm excited about it. Man, let's see. Today is Friday. Today is also the last day of school going on around here. So after today, we're going to have cheerings running around in the neighborhoods. Okay, they're going to be out. So if you go to Walmart, you can expect that there's going to be tons of cheering hanging out up there. So just as a as a heads up, it's here, and so the summer is on. And at about 3:00 today, every teacher in Arkansas is going to go, tag parents, you're it for 3 months. It is all y'all. And I'll be honest with you, I know these teachers are exhausted. I know they are weary, and they need rest, and they need our appreciation. So if you know a teacher, thank a teacher, okay? If you know one, thank them, because they do a tireless, countless job with our babies. And so just be sure that you thank a teacher when you do that. But they are done after today. I'm sure there'll be a couple more days. They'll have to go back next week and get all their paperwork and their grades in, and and empty out their classroom. But yeah, buddy, they are done. They are done. Miss Denny's on. That means, Miss Denny, this is your last day to sub. So if you happen to go there to take care of them cheering, all them cheering, and you know something, let's just be honest. Them children ain't doing nothing today in them schools. All they are doing is occupying a space in a chair all day long. I mean, just occupying a space. There's Thelma Fryer. Well, good morning, Miss Thelma. I'm so glad that you are hanging out with me this morning. My goodness, lady, I hope you've got a good stiff cup of coffee and hanging on out with the with this crazy knucklehead preacher from over here at Ridgewood. We just thank you so much. Most schools have kids Monday and Tuesday, and teachers work all week long. Yep. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah, the teachers will be in there all next week. But now, let me tell you something. When them teachers get back on campus and them kids are at the house, let me just tell you something. It ain't nothing but a party going on because they can get their stuff done. They don't have to mess with discipline or kids sit down or you hush your mouth and all that good stuff. So it is all work to get in. They'll be throwing parties all across the school districts and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Next week looks kind of normal as far as our broadcast schedule, so no changes there. You can just kind of follow along. Let me see here. Jesse, good morning. What you doing, girl? How you doing this Friday morning? You staying out of meanness? I highly doubt that, but it's always good to ask, right? Today is also cleaning day at the church. I know the ladies got all that taken care of. I'm actually headed to the church as soon as I get off live today. I've got things to get ready for Sunday, stage to set. I've got to work on the projection software. I got to work on all that and get everything ready for stuff to go on our screen. And still working with our inventory bunch, trying to get our things lined up for the adjuster. So trying to get all that done. And hopefully I can get that done today. Need to rehearse a little bit today as well. And then as soon as I get back here to the home office, it is lock and load for deep study time. I'll spend the rest of the day today, tonight, and all day tomorrow night in intense sermon prep, getting ready for Sunday. So that is where your preacher's going to be today and for this weekend. Everything that gets in. Let's see here. What else have I got? Is there anything? I don't think that's it. Hey, we got a great Bible verse this morning in our May Bible reading plan for the weary heart. I mean, seriously, this is one of those that you should already have memorized. This should be engraved in the deepest, darkest places of your heart. Psalm 46:10. Psalm 46:10. The psalmist writes, be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Oh my goodness, what a great verse today as we continue our theme of for the weary heart. Be still. Just pump the brakes and just stop for a minute. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Man. What a great way to start our Friday. Be still and know. That's one of those you want to memorize. One of those you want to maybe write out on a Post-it note or on a index card and tape it in a couple of places around your house so you'll always see that. Great word of encouragement. Anytime you're feeling down, distressed, disturbed, or just discouraged, there we go. Be still and know that I am God. What a great word. Okay, we are still in 1 Samuel chapter 25, so go ahead and take your Bibles and turn on over there. And we are continuing in now this encounter with these two new characters that we met yesterday. We met Nabal and we met Nabal's wife, Abigail. We said that yesterday Nabal was a very wealthy man. Very wealthy man. He had like 1,000 sheep and 3,000 sheep and what was it? 1,000 goats. I mean, this dude had it. This was a very wealthy man, and it was shearing time for the sheep. It was harvest time to get all the wool out. Good morning, Miss D. Glad you're here. I had a beautiful dove. Oh yes. We've actually got a couple doves that hang out here. In our neck of the woods, they're generally every morning when I go out, you can generally hear the doves cooing here in our neighborhood. So great way to always step out and just to soak that up. So I'm glad you got that too. I'm glad that, and the redbirds, they're everywhere. Just they're stinking everywhere. So it's harvest time for the sheep. They're shearing the sheep. And we said that David and his men, while they had been out, they were actually protectors of the shepherds for Nabal and for all of the herd while they were out, in the wilderness, and they were being taken care of the sheep. And they literally served as a wall of protection day and night against the Philistines, that nothing would happen to the men, the shepherds, nothing would happen to the livestock, and that David's men were of the highest regard. They didn't pilfer or plunder or take anything from them. They didn't steal nothing, take advantage of them at all. And so now, knowing that it's harvest time, David is just simply asking for a little bit of food in return for that. And it's feast time, it's banquet time, and of course, when it's harvest time, there's all kinds of money that's being changed hands, and so there's a lot going on. And David sent 10 men as a messenger party, very respectful, and he literally itemized what they had done and what they hadn't done in protection and so on and so forth. And all David asked for was the servant's portion of food for he and his men. In other words, we don't want what you're going to eat. We want what you would give your servants. Nothing more. And now then, we're going to get the reaction. This is where he has asked for the compensation. And we're going to pick up at verse 9. Now remember, we said that Nabal, his name meant fool, and that he is of the house of Caleb, which meant the house of the dog, which means he had like a doggish attitude, just a real rough, rugged personality. Okay, and we're about to see that. Okay, verse 9. So when David's young men came, they spoke to Nabal according to all these words in the name of David, and they waited. In other words, they did exactly as David instructed them to do, and they're waiting now on the response. Now remember, this is only 10 of David's guys. All right, David and the rest of those 600 or so guys are back at camp. All right, verse 10. Then Nabal answered David's servants and said, well, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There are many servants nowadays who break away, each one from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my meat that I have killed for my shearers and give it to men who I do not know where they're from? Oh, isn't this amazing? This is crazy. So David's young men turned on their heels and went back, and they came and told him all of these words. So let's just take a look at here. All right. Look at how he starts off. Who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse? Let me just tell you something real quick. There ain't a person in all of this area that doesn't know who David is. I mean, everybody and their brother and their 13th cousin knows who David is, because he is that iconic hero of Israel. They know who he is. They know who his daddy is. Okay? They know that Jesse is one of the big sheep farmers as well. So herdsman to herdsman, there's got to be some familiarity that's going on between those two guys. But you just did not live in that day and time and not know who this David was. And so to do that, okay, this was an absolute insult to David. I'm talking knowing who he was, but refusing to recognize him. In other words, this is what you and I would say today. Well, who in the world does he think he is? Who does he think he is? And that's really how this is coming across, because that's exactly how he meant it. And then he's got, there are many servants nowadays who break away from the master. What he did was he went even deeper into this insult by simply saying that David is a rebellious servant. He's hearing and regurgitating what Saul had been saying all along, that it was never Saul against a rebel servant, but that David was indeed due everything that he was getting from Saul and his men, which it was a bold-faced lie. And so he just, again, insulted David as, you ain't nothing but a rebellious servant. Who in the world do you think you are? Okay. Oh, man. Shall I take my bread? Shall I take my water, my meat, my shears, and give it? This is the epitome of an ungenerous man. I mean, he is ungenerous. He looked at everything as his, and it wasn't the Lord's. And let's just be honest with you. Everything that you and I have today, I mean, down to our last pillowcase, belongs to God. If it has not been for God, you and I would not have it. Okay? It belongs to God. And this guy thinks it's all about him. It's me. True biblical generosity doesn't think this is mine and I'm going to share it with you. True and biblical generosity says that all I have belongs to God, and so you can have some of it too. And that's the way the Scripture teaches. And, this is the lesson we need today. I mean, when you just really break it down. And so here we are. We're now going in, and he has replied. This is his reply to the request of David. In other words, look, we have done all this to you. We've taken care of you. We're not asking for anything more than just just let us eat. We just want what your servants are going to eat. Nothing more. We're not asking for money. Did you catch that? We're not asking for money. We're not here to bankroll you. We just want some food. Okay. Verse 13. Word is back from the 10 men. They go back and they tell David. Then David said to his men, every man gird on his sword. So every man girded on his sword, and David also girded on his sword. In other words, it's on. You've just done the wrong thing. And so you've got David telling his army, I guess we could use that phrase, he's got some 600 men following him. He says, I need every one of you guys to lock and load. It is time to mount up. We are headed in. And even David himself puts on his sword. Remember, he's still using Goliath's sword. And so that means that David himself is about to lead this group into battle, because this has been a dramatic insult, a harsh put down of David and who David is and what David stands for and what he done. And so this was just, it was crazy. So David tells the men, gird up with your swords. And David also girded on his sword. And about 400 men went with David, and 200 stayed with the supply. So it is battle time. Now this is exactly the response that Nabal intended. In other words, he meant to insult David. He meant to crush him, to let him know that you ain't nothing but a rebel servant. Who do you think you are? Are you out here roaming around, rebel renegade? You're nothing compared to me. I have it all, and you're not getting any of it. And let's just be honest, okay? It did not sit well, and David is about to go. And when he says, that he's only taken 400, look here, what he's doing is he is going in there with the sole purpose of wiping Nabal and all of his people out. He takes 400 and he's leaving 200 to stay with the supplies and to also serve as reinforcements if they need it. So there was always a backup plan. It was about to be a slaughter. The thing is that this was really not the David that we just saw. I mean, just the past couple of days, we saw David have the opportunity to kill King Saul, the man who had chased him, who had personally tried to kill him now on a couple of different occasions, and who had a bounty on his head. Literally, they wanted to kill David. He was not going to live under Saul's reign. But yet David showed kindness. He showed forgiveness, really. by letting Saul go and proving his kindness, proving where he stood. And yet, he's not willing to show Nabal that same kindness and that same gentleness. Okay? Was this right? Not really. This was really not the right response. Even though it was probably justified in the flesh, Nabal deserved the same response that Saul had got. But we're not seeing that, are we? We're not seeing that at all. So right now, what we've got is you've got something happening over here. This is where all of those 10 guys have gone back. They've told David, and now then he is getting the guys ready to go to battle. He said, put your swords on, get ready. It's time to mount up, and we're about to go back in, and we're going to take care of business. In the meantime, okay? In the meantime, still over here. In other words, this is taking place over here. We're now got a kind of a split scene or a split stage type thing. So you've got all of this taking place over here. And back over here, you've still got Nabal's camp, Nabal's house, where he lives and all of his servants, and they're still shearing the sheep, and they're getting ready for the feast that's taking place. Well, when Nabal encountered those 10 men, he had other servants around him, okay? Well, they knew exactly what had taken place. And now we're going to see their response. So this is David's getting ready. And now we got things happening back at Nabal's place. All right? Verse 14. Now one of the young men told Abigail. In other words, this is one of the guys that was actually out in the field, okay, taking care of the sheep. This is one of the shepherds, while David and his men were protecting them, okay? Now, one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, look, David sent messengers from the wilderness to greet our master. And he reviled them. In other words, he scolded them. He scorned them. He lashed back at them. But the men were very good to us. In other words, this man, this servant, this shepherd, literally confirmed everything that David had just told Nabal. He said they were very good to us. Not just good, they were very good to us. And we were not hurt, nor did we miss anything as long as we accompanied them when we were in the fields. In other words, as long as we were with them, they protected us. The Philistines didn't bother us. Nothing bothered us. We were allowed the freedom to take care of Nabal's flocks. Nor did they come into our camp and take anything that belonged to us. David is telling the truth. They were a wall to us, verse 16. They were a wall to us both by day and night, all the time we were with them and keeping the sheep. Okay, this guy is going and he's letting them know that right now what you've got, Abigail, is your husband has just did a very dumb and stupid thing. He has really turned against, he has rebelled against the man and his men who have taken care of us. I mean, they were good to us. And at that point, to be real honest with you, Abigail knew they deserved some type of a compensation. They deserved that meal that they were asking for. The servants knew they deserved that meal. You see, that servant knew that they deserved that food just as much as they were about to eat. And they were the ones out there taking care of it. And they're horrified. And all they're doing right now is they are going back and they are literally telling Abigail probably what she already knew about her own husband. I mean, this was a scoundrel, okay? This was a rough, rugged, remember? Fool. Remember his name. Stood for fool. Now, therefore, know and consider what you do. Now, they're still talking to Abigail. Now, therefore, know and consider what you will do, for harm is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is such a scoundrel that one cannot speak to him. In other words, you need to understand what he has just done to David is going to light a fuse, and he is going to come back and he is going to unleash holy destruction on all of us. He's going to kill us all, and justifiably so. And your husband is a scoundrel. I'm talking, he is a scoundrel, and nobody can talk to him. We can't go to him and tell him this. He won't listen to reason. He won't do it. This was a plea to get Abigail to go back and talk to Nabal, because the servants knew that if there was anybody that he was going to listen to, it was going to be his wife. But he was not going to listen to any of his servants at all. And he sure enough didn't listen to the messengers sent by David. There's fear right here in the hearts of these servants, because they knew the truth and they just physically saw and heard the encounter between Nabal and those servants, and they knew what the outcome was going to be. And they knew that if something was not done, that they were going to die that day. Because they knew when those messengers got back to David what was going to take place. And sure enough, we've already read what was going on over here. David himself is about to lead that army back to that house. And we've already seen David's track record. David does not lose. Great story. What happens? We're going to pick that up on Monday, as soon as we get back after the weekend. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Friday. I hope you have an incredible day. If you do happen to get out, enjoy this sunshine. We're supposed to see close to 90 over the weekend, which that's just wonderful. Normally we have kind of, hard weekends to where, we get, rain and storms on Sunday, and it makes it, awkward to get ready and get out to go to church. It's just kind of goofy, but we've got a gorgeous day. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some time today, and I want you to pray for our services on Sunday. Okay, will you do that? I want you to pray for our services on Sunday. I want you to pray God's protection around our campus. Pray for God's protection around me, around the praise team, around all the teachers, around all the families that's coming. Pray for God's Spirit to work in the hearts of men here in the Delta. Pray that God would just fill our building with people coming that are hungry and thirsty for His word, hungry and thirsty for righteousness. I want you to pray for that. I want you to pray for your friends. I want you to pray for your family that are not attending church, that they have stepped away from church, or maybe they've never been to church. Okay? That's what I want you to do. And then I want you to then get on the phone or text or messenger, whatever. And I want you to begin inviting your friends and your family to come to church with you on Sunday. And if you're unable to be out and to be in our building physically, I want you to get on the phone and encourage them to watch with you online, as we will be, Lord willing, live at 10:30 on Sunday morning. Will you do that? Make today the day that you invite people to church. Make this today the day that you spend in quality time in prayer, asking God to do a mighty work in our midst. We want to encounter God on Sunday at Ridgewood. We want to see the hand of God at work. We want to see souls saved. We want to see lives changed. We want to see people get closer, get back tighter with their walk with Jesus Christ. Will you pray with us? That's all I'm going to ask you today. If you happen to get out today, hey, I want you to invite them to church. I want you to tell them about Jesus. I want you to encourage them today. Encourage somebody. We need encouragement today. We need kindness. We need love. Share that love today. Will you do that? If you need me, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Gloria. We're going to be available to you any way you need us. We love you guys so very much. I'm out. I'm headed to the church. I've got things I got to get done. Love you guys tons. I'll see you Sunday morning, 9:30 Sunday school. Worship starts at 10:30. It's going to be a great day. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great weekend.